They refer to me as that liar, well I'm as accursed as a vampire, and sit telling scary stories to scare children by a campfire. And they keep asking me when will Sam tire, and why wasn't he admired? And I tell them just he's always surrounded by grand choirs, telling him of sellers and buyers, with the fires fanned higher as we stand watching this damn pyre, never burning out as they're learning now, seeing what Sam sees as dire, with snakes dancing to the tune of a lyre, held so slightly that it can fall, playing to the lyrics of a grand call, of things not to be sold, singing that he fought for what can be acquired, as he is on display like a music box, thinking he's showing his way of love that leaves Cupid shocked, and dancing and can't tire. Is it Halloween yet? I got these rhymes to make the whole year like Halloween, where I spend a little time in a hollow shell, when I was an insightful but shallow teen, in the scenes that defined my shadow weird, wondering was my way of the word and violence scene, and I wonder where has my air of flare and my glamour been, where I appeared and disappeared as you fear. Behind the shadow shedding tears, wondering if I'm smelling fear with I'm thinking hell is near, seeing the shadows at the minute the gallows near, running around with the execution rope around my neck and constantly nodding and saying hello dear, with my pants on fire when I say ooh, I smell marshmallows here, or is it popcorn, while secretly watching cock porn till at night filling my pillow tears, telling myself delusionally that I'm the only one that jello fears, and finally telling hey stop shaking, to go back to thinking that I would not make it, randomly shoving a raging bone in front of the fellow's rear, to go back to thinking why am I so misunderstood, and he to say oh how this monster could, and I wonder are the shadows here, cause to the others I feel like a shadow but it's not Halloween, and they find them cold in the shadow but insightful but shallow teen, and I'm wondering if I'm weird, and they say that I'm weird, and they say damn you weird, wondering if I belong in another world, trying to remember my mother's words, but I thought even she found a way that I stammer weird, see here I'm a lonely shadow waiting for Halloween. It's so spooky here when I'm quietly hiding that I'm low-key weird, and they say okay stop talking and looky here, and they never were talking and say hey look at this smoky rear, and I wonder do I look gay, and all along I seemed like I did everything in a shook way, feeling a rookie's fear, and they say dude your pants are on fire, and I say haha, just walk away looking retarded, thinking why am I this disregarded, and why this black cloud soaks me tears. It's so spooky here when I'm quietly hiding that I'm low-key weird, and they say okay stop talking and looky here, and they never were talking and say hey look at this smoky rear, and I wonder do I look gay, and all along I seemed like I did everything in a shook way, feeling a rookie's fear, and they say dude your pants are on fire, and I say haha, just walk away looking retarded, thinking why am I this disregarded, and why this black cloud soaks me tears. Cause lately I like being a monster, I'm proudly feeling this hunger, and I'm wondering why the shadows are screaming imposter, and I like it being cloudy and hearing the thunder while I schemingly ponder, and they say is he retarded, and I wonder what it would be like to be regarded after defeating the monster that's going to be the most redeeming of wonders, and they say is he retarded, and they say I'm gonna be heartless and gonna be leaving this hole I'm sleeping in under, then when I rise and shine the yell so grim, some other dude says hey I know him, there's a dude that likes feeding the monster, could you see it hanging in his back and he's strangling with shackles and he's screaming you monster, and he retardedly wonders and they see my hunger and I'm the one who defeated the monster, while he's the one actually being the monster, then they laugh out loud and say dude let's leave him to ponder, but the black cloud drains and electrocutes him with thunder. yell that liar, with a soul of preacher for only your buyer requires. Tell that there's nothing gets dire and tire. They say can tire that liar. But them enlightened is a vampire of fire. They sing for the grand choirs admired. They say grand choirs that liar. But seemingly I reach a summit and higher and higher. And I see for the aspired acquired. They say aspired that liar. Was slithering to what lie to dance to what liar can tire. But they yell that liar. It seems I can jump into hellfire, but only for what felt dire. And these pieces of my soul that I sell buyers. Hearing deceitful shall say we know we get well, liar. We're taking pain in scenes that I melt higher. On another devil, telling them that I'm not another devil in these stories I tell choirs. So they sing and sing of a king of kings and find hell's fires. But in a state is static and I wait in panic worldwide. Contagious and going in circles while I trages they don't even know his hurdles and that's well tired. And they say we know that you knelt, liar. And my actions bad, they say no he has nothing. And wipe away the heartless black blood and say never felt higher. Just before I awaken you, the stuff only a snake can do before I felt dire. There's a wrap around with might and I asked him, my mother is the proudest, right? In the well for help tired. Into myself I yell dire, emotions to the with these dog songs, whisper because dire is not hellfire. They say what will get you if you don't go to hell, liar. Conspiring, the conspiracy never around us as it smells dire. They say we know the hand that you never dealt, liar. And proud as he just born, that them how can he trust horns, he can see his tail. This nigga will whisper when he eats his tail. He's not only blind, he can read and braille. He just thinks it's spell dire. Welcome again embracing his side, willing to provide hellfire. Writing pieces of his soul and walls and his songs to sell buyers. But he sees he can and so he will, as he can deceive still for the one who deceitful says help. And all the yelps as he kneels and see what they will be revealed as a tale that they tell liar. They yell that liar, with a soul of preacher for only your buyer requires. Tell that there's nothing gets dire and tire. They say can tire that liar. But them enlightened is a vampire of fire. They sing for the grand choirs admired. They say grand choirs that liar. But seemingly I reach a summit and higher and higher. And I see for the aspired acquired. They say aspired that liar. Was slithering to what lie to dance to what liar can tire. But they yell that liar, that liar.
Haiku on the beat.
They yell that killer. Then I release my pull back trigger and tell her it's okay my love. I just wondered am I tough and bigger than little? Is he yell and shiver that sinner? No whatever am I even that bigger and better? Then they yell that devil. One side from the throne as bitter as liquor. And they yell that killer. The scenes in the game I'm a cold-blooded hot killer. And as far as these fans that I find I got thrillers. But I'm not MJ, as I make the feeble men sway. I was holding that they're not stiller. As I'm a false start, open a pen and pad, this dark art is a bit of an off and artiller. Not wanting fortune and fame, but I want my foretold in fame as the God's killer. But not the one God, as I walk around with my eyes bloodshot, as I show that I'm the last dweller. Telling of things unsung, with another gun slung that will make you think nothing can make your blood chiller. As this cold blood and hot headedness as I got this holy world cup that was filled with my blood, sweat and tears as I got weather. I'm a cheerful and immortal of corpse to the seas that got forced to be a non-sinner. And in this game with the fame of unfamed there's only one winner. So I wander searching for the one without blood on her to be my corpse bride. And I could be a chorus pride that makes every other corpse hide as it will cold like a hot dinner. To these demons beaming but grieving and seeming like some plot fillers. As in darkness they flee, says me. As in daydreams they scream. As the feeble fearful and evil fun sinners. And with the other one wins and I fall to this cold wind as chopped liver. This more far away, in a book of iron ash and cold, scarred and grey, proud of it but got thinner. And waste away, but not allowing myself to waste a day. Giving them the best ever scenes, trying to not fade this stray as plot fillers. Sick as because it is hot and cold love. I'm some sort of a cold-blooded hot killer. Trying to show you that no, not really, you are not better. As he yelled that killer. It seems to be the only thing that makes my cold alive corpses if I shiver. But it seems that my way I do kill. And that day makes me too thrilled, but it's just that I find my love bigger. They yell that killer. Did I release my pull back trigger and tell her it's okay my love, I just wondered am I tough and bigger than little? As they yell that shiver that sinner, no wonder am I even that bigger and better? Then they yell that devil, well inside from the throne as bitter as liquor. And they yell that killer. Scenes in the body of a grown man, I'm just an aborted child. I still have racism in my soul and spine, and I'm ready for war, with my words aligned, wondering if I can now afford to smile. As I walk a tightrope of bordered lines, with the inner child inside hissing the world is mine. I keep telling him I just want to think of it warm but wild, as he tells me let go, just conform my child. When my eyes turn red, then I remember that I find immortals vile. But I showed him this year we never found the world that wild, where my horns are broken and my halo blinds the hordes of children. I know that the immortals killed them. They say we never saw a lord that vile. But I keep telling them this dark demeanor was just my normal style, and they tell me be lightful, but I wonder if they found me spiteful, thinking what I would do for a smile. Till the cheering and dear tough crowd, I'm happy dying so long as you're inspired. When I have these trophies of those who were alongside me in the war admired. But I showed them they would say, well, you're a child, and here I'm talking, you reply, you're abhorred and quiet. Well, the voice whispers, you're my only immortal child. Well, I try to align my spine and find these lines that I crawl along, just an abhorrent thing with wild eyes being pulled from umbilical cord and riled. Whispering to myself, this world is mine, when both alive and dead after the abortion. Hover around as a lonely poltergeist, sheepishly smiling while saying I'm fine, doing it just for a smile. And the demons snicker, you know what this means, the crying children hiding grim grins, whispering the world is mine. As in disgust I was aborted and thrown into a wild world, before that around the darkness backfires, and I can believe this are only a child's words. But I'm telling you, you need to celebrate me, just a smile works, and say did you hear that is what is this vile worse. As in disgust I was aborted and thrown into a wild world, before that around the darkness backfires, and I can believe this are only a child's words. But I'm telling you, you need to celebrate me, just a smile works, and say did you hear that is what is this vile worse. As I keep getting twisted, and I saw is tainted love, I rinsed it with this bliss, but I wonder with no senses defenseless, and I want to clench in my fist, I'm sleepwalking, drifting in this mist. With my mind foggy, wondering is it really my shit that they find bloody, and I'm singing it wincing. Say it's fine, I'm just ending my friendship, and my stance of being gifted has shifted. I see it as a curse, wondering when it has been a loss on earth if it ended my friendships. So wondering if I'm bested and missed it, holding a checklist and thinking if I wasn't listed I've ticked it. Now they stop saying I'm selfish and twisted, but only saying I'm selfless and reckless. And stop hurting yourself that I'm not doing it through wealth, I'm just feeling what the gist is, well missed it. Now stop saying it's alive, but instead it is dead. My family is seeing his demons filling his head with this shit. Well, I keep thinking I'm just an existence persisting, and they tell me if you resist it. And I follow the pain as something hollow and vain, asking is this what this is? And they say we know it all along, you're not twisted, you're gifted. As they see me getting twisted, I know what they're getting twisted. The birth of me a twisted, aborted birth, the sort of existence is twisted, but the other insignificance is just a gifted existence. But I walk away from a hell that I managed to give them a twisting in this bit. Bottomless, and all I've gotten is this gift being rested. Now they yell them who the best is in this shit, but I sit quietly interested and get it. So it seems as far as with the justice they missed it. So I just sit alone, and this phone getting twisted as I turn to stone after I burn alone. So all I do is resist being tempted. One of my bad trips is where one of my fans slipped, and the bloodless heavy bad dripped. It's found like I carried it to a told the bitch black pit. Yeah, I know my evil mind is evil, you can stand it. Well, I hear the angels say they don't get there in this rap shit. Sam's tongue is like a dime whip, and it ends if you want the receiving end of his damn fist. It's as far as it, you gotta tell him I can hand it. It's the flawless, heartless, the grandest in this rap shit. He hugs the town folk at night, and the day he's a damn witch. But it seems as if they don't catch drifts. It seems swerving my ship with disgust like a bad sandwich. And he's the king of Gotham, but his field is bad bitch. As he lights at the bad sign and lands with a lavish weight, and his wings clad him. Just he likes to joke sometimes, just no punchlines, but he never really meant the bad shit. A villain and hero or something, saying there's only one king, and as far as his gold wind, he doesn't want it to be got with. So as far as in it, he's done it with the flames of love lit. They can't be put out no matter the huffing, it just finds it. So I follow the shit I stand it. I'm watching the rain and my tears gone cold, and I think it's not so bad. And hey, I like to go mad to give you those raps, but the angels say we know you both Sam, but not even say they know you both Sam. Like every on stabbing the dog that it feels like I never have it. And seeing if there's like-minded people who like dying breathing that I can hang with. feels like a kicked away chair and it's slipping away like the fan did in the blood of the body bag drip. They're frantic. I remind myself it's probably just a bad trip. Then they say we knew he's like a vampire, some fucking mad witch. But when I give my back and my hands twitch, they say he looks shook while they're in my cold throne, looking in my cookbook. Then asked him, why would you make me do this, you monsters? All I meant was to wonder, but it rains my boo-boo thunders and say could have had it, damn this. Cause it just feels like a bad trip, where all that I want is right there. In a nightmare, they could have had it. Is there a light? Or is the light the ability to remain in the dark? The scenes in this dark struggle. Lately all I wonder is will I get to the light in this dark tunnel. Relentlessly brave as a charmed lover, trying to be intelligent and streetwise, playing along with a smart hustle. Not to be aware of the marked others, but seem to wonder about the ace or just the cards double. Can only hear the crying of my alarm mother. But as they tell me you are trouble, I feel offended at the thought that they will think I would harm brothers. As I see them as close as being in my heart, and as far as the stars hover, with them seemingly unknowing of the ache that my heart suffers. And as a heartless artist in the light they find this art rougher. And I'm angry with those dark tussles. I just look sharp and try to find somewhere these dark covers. Dim lit and wondering why they find my witting grim. And did I mean to start trouble? But I mean to resolve it, but this fear keeps evolving and just sparks stubborn. And they tell me can you bite? Telling them that I plan to fight but not start trouble. Followed by this friendly haunting sharp double. And I'm already close to the edge, but I swore in a pledge to never harm brothers. As I walk an easy target and a marked lover. All I wonder is will I get to the light? Is this crowd always following me around bent on the fight? Wondering if I'm represent with the night or sent as a light. In this dark tunnel, I just think that you are brothers and sisters, and I'm the damn victor. All I wonder is will I get to the light? Is this crowd always following me around bent on the fight? Wondering if I'm represent with the night or sent as a light. In this dark tunnel, I just think that you are brothers and sisters, and I'm the damn victor. As I follow the psychopath, feeling stepped on as I feel Michael's wrath. With him also saying yes, I like your raps, and it's relieving that you find this vicious psycho bad. And that I have quite the grasp, and after barking, wondering when will I get to bite alas. Then meanwhile, will I seem vile till my race find your path. Learn to fight your path with the moderation of a middle line. Because I know when you do, you belittle it like I belittle mine. It seems like a rightful task. Wondering if they saw beyond my prideful mask. Will I chase and stalk the spiteful man with a damn plan? And I hear the angels say no one can do it, but then some say but Sam can. Until beginning to find your path, learn to fight your past, but it's always seemingly nearly inside my grasp. Some solution, feeling with the calling of one's confusion. And then I remember my new the enlightened stance for they see. No torn between a nightmare and a daydream. They'll say that maybe I would like to dance. Know that life might be wherever it is. The light I seek in a nightmarish place that is neither in science or math. The speculations of causations and correlations nearly inside my grasp. Fleeting like a ghost. So for now I grab the mic and boast and glowing or show them how I took the psychopath. Spreading sky wings spread in the wondrous sound king. Or saying behold the signs of math. I was running away, prepare for the final lap. It's the evil demented whisper. Now we will get to see the mask behind your mask. I can't stand it. Why can't I just abandon it? Damn this. Sam, you really can is what I see from where I'm standing. Just leave them, they will never understand it. Just wish it and I'll command it. Aren't you tired of this bad trip? No, I guess not. I'm kind of used to this. So I just give them it and wonder what if I had it. As I appeared and disappeared like magic. forever in a state of panic, wondering what will happen. Just sit and imagine, oh, what if I had it, until I'm so saddened that I'm maddened. As I keep hearing the same tune over and over and tell myself that I find it lavish, then tell myself that I can't stand it, while seemingly ever dancing